What's up guys, welcome back to Become Calisthenics. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get a straddle press. So what is a straddle press? Well, a straddle press is basically you having your arms straight and pressing with your hips and raising them up with your core as well. So this, like I said, this takes a lot of good straight arm strength because you're going to be basically using that the whole time, as well as a good amount of hip flexors and core strength. So let me show you what a straddle press is. So that is a straddle press. Usually people learn this whenever they can achieve a handstand, because usually this is an intermediate to advanced, I want to say handstand technique. So before learning this, make sure you have a good amount of handstand strength in order to before you learn the straddle press. So if you're ready to learn the straddle press, please leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. So the very first thing I would recommend is stretching your hips and hip flexors. I'm going to be showing you a good amount of hip stretches you can do in order to improve your hip strength. So the first one I like to do is just spread my legs apart and just lean to one side and stretch as far as you can. I usually like to hold about like 5 to 10 seconds, and then I would switch to the other side and hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds. Then I would do what is called the pancake. You basically, like I said, keep your legs in a straddle position, and basically you just want to reach as far as you can. I especially like this because you can mainly feel it in your hip flexor area, and it's really a good, great stretch before you go into your straddles. So next, I like to do these leg raises. I like to do them straight arms or straight leg and straddle. So you basically just want to have kind of like you would do it in an L sit. If you're trying to hold an L sit, you would just basically try to raise your legs as high as you can, and probably go for about like 5 to 10 on both of them. So you would just keep doing that, and then you would do the same thing with the straddle. Like I said, whenever you do this, you'll start to feel them in your hip area, and it's a great way to warm up the hips in order to before you move on to the straddle. So like I said, you need a good amount of handstand strength, so practice your handstands before you move on to the straddle. So now the next thing I would do is negatives on the wall. You basically want to kick up and then spread your legs up like in a straddle, and try to lower as slowly as you can. So it's something like this. So you would kick up, straddle, and then try to lower as slowly as you can, and then just repeat. Negatives are a great way to learn a certain technique because you're just doing the opposite of what you would be doing. So if you were trying to learn a straddle, and you're trying to go from the ground without any wall assistance, the negatives will help you get that strength in order to be able to do that without the wall. So if you want to try to do it a little more challenging off the wall, you can just basically do it without the wall. So you would go into a handstand, do the same thing, straddle, and then just try to lower yourself as slowly as you can. This one is a little trickier because you don't have that wall assistance to help you. So it looks something like this. Like I said, you just want to lower as slowly as you can. Like I said, this is a little harder because, like I said, you don't have the wall to assist you. So you're basically doing it, you basically would do how you would do a straddle without the wall if you're not doing the negatives. Also, when doing these moves, you also want to lean forward a little bit as well. It'll be easier to help you get that straddle to go up. Because if you're just trying to do it like if you're in a handstand, just if you're not leaning forward as much, it'll be harder for you to get that straddle unless you're an expert and you know how to just do it without having to lean. But if you're a beginner or intermediate and just trying to learn, leaning forward will help. So you would just lean forward and then straddle. Like that. Like I said, leaning forward does help, and I recommend doing that until you be able to just do it without having to lean forward as much. So to practice the movement of pressing up, try getting like blocks or books or whatever you have in your that's near you, and basically just stack them as high as you can. This will help you be able to teach you the ways of having to straddle press off the ground without any assistance. So like I said, I'm using, for these example, I'm using these weights. So if you're having trouble place more weights or more boxes or something, and to help you, it will help you be easier. So I'm going for these low ones. So basically you just do the same thing. It'll help you because the higher you are, the easier it will be. The lower you are, the harder it will be. So with this, like it will just basically like that help you get that elevation. So like I said, if you stack higher ones, it'll be easier for you. And whenever you start to progress, take off one until you're able to do it off the ground. So now that you've gone through all the steps, from the stretches to the negatives, for placing blocks, from doing it off the wall, you should be able to try doing a straddle press without any assistance, without any blocks, because you've learned through all the progressions. So you should be able to do a straddle press now. So all the progressions: feet straddle, arms straight, and basically just lean forward, and then basically just straddle up. So that is the straddle press handstand. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe for more content like these. Thank you.